Willkommen back, genau. Welcome back, willkommen zurück zu Omensight. Jetzt mache ich mal das, was ich schon lange machen wollte. Ich mache mal eine Spezialfolge, in der wir nur die Memories durchgehen. Und danach, also wenn das nicht interessiert, ist einfach ausmachen. Und danach werde ich einfach immer, wenn ich eins finde, das kurz lesen. With gusto, Draga finds interest in as her father Margaret describes in painstaking detail his passion for factory life. Draga's mind cannot focus. Instead, a passing Imperial guard catches her attention. She imagines the action Hierhin soldiers face, fighting and protecting. Father notices Draga's daydream. Imagine, Draga, tomorrow you will be promoted from grain silos to first floor conveyor belts. Klingt total interessant. Father, Draga says, half listening. Is there a training program for joining the army? Nagio is taken aback. What? Assembly line inspection doesn't interest you? The disappointment in her father's voice causes Draga to backpedal. It's not that, it's just the soldiers serve our nation so brilliantly, you know? Well, sure, Margot agrees. Every role in Pygaria is important, but our role keeps our nation afloat. One voice and one destiny for Pygaria. If we did want to join the army, may we? Margot seems dumbfounded. We are a part of a highly structured Pygarian society, Draga. You do understand that we are not expected to be in the army. Draga drops the matter. Of course, father. At the end of her shift, Draga forces a cheerier mood. After all, tomorrow she will be promoted to conveyor belts. Woohoo! Hurried movements interrupt, and Draga spots a squadron of Imperial Guards, weapons drawn, dashing across the grounds. But for what purpose? Draga surveys the factory and determines that the resource center's barricade has been broken through. The guards fan out, encircling someone, and a skirmish breaks loose. Entranced, Draga watches the soldiers and the intruder exchange attacks and feints. Feints. The action and skill, it is music and dance. This is art. Draga realizes she has no choice. She must learn how to fight. But no soldier will teach her. Not the soldiers, then. Draga grips the staff, holding it steady. From the opposite end of the plateau, the Imperial trainer faces her and the other recruits. On an adjacent landing, Pygarian generals gesture at Draga, no doubt debating her fate. Draga had surprised all Pygaria when she passed every exam and was inducted into the army. Thus, her present training exercises was something no Pygarian wanted to miss. The spectators grin, placing bets. How long until Draga fails, gets kicked out, returns to factory life? That very notion spurs her on. The Imperial trainer singles out Draga. Step forward, order about. There's still time, he prods. Heat rises in Draga, but she stuffs the annoyance away with an icy calm. Got all the time in the world, sir. In true sparring form, the Imperial vaults his weapon up high before launching an assault, jerking it forward toward Draga. The other recruits back away. Draga glides out of the way and returns the strike with one of her own. The Imperial advances again, this time faking a reach outward, then coming in low. Move disorients Draga, but she recovers quickly. She reshapens her focus and steps through her next two thrusts with a block and spin. Frenzy with which Draga presses her attack causes the Imperial to call a timeout. Commotion of voices comment on the spectacle. General alle motions Draga over. General, Draga performs a military salute. That was good technique. Who taught you? The general asks kindly. Draga blushes. Answer the question, warm. Trainer yells. Draga lowers her head. The dream ends here, she thinks. You can keep your secret for now. Draga, is it? Draga nods slowly, confused. Send her to my cadet division on the double, General alle orders the trainer. Then she starts to walk away. I will find your secret, Draga, she adds, without looking back. What if I read the card or so? We are on the heels of catastrophe. Rodentia is shattered. Draga tries to keep the distress from her voice, but fails miserably. Both nations are terrified. Begging your pardon, General alle, but why leave now? This disaster in Rodentia would have been much worse, alle replies, an unusual speck of fear in her voice. General? You know what happened? I made a vow not to speak of it, Draga. Listen to me. I need to know if there's a risk for something like this to happen again. It means travel all around Aurelia. Cannot do that and lead our armies. What about the reports for Emperor Endrick? We'll get his reports. You will deliver them. alle removes the coveted symbol from her own label and attaches it to Draga's. You are the general in charge now. General? Me? You're ready, Draga, alle declares. For years you have studied as my protege. My final order is that you honor your pledge, seek order and justice. If you must fight, do so with minimal bloodshed. Above all, fight so that all can find peace. Draga finishes the sentence. Elia nods. Without a word, she turns around and disappears into the night. The Gillis Award. Retica pushes her way through the scramble, but she's blocked by her siblings who are twice her size and weight. Her younger brother Holden yells, "Out of the way, Tiny!" He sprints past and reaches the finish line first. As is tradition, his name gets etched in stone next to Gillis' statue. Gillis, the great adventurer who saw the edge of Euralia, brought prosperity to the village in discovering sugar raisin. There is no greater praise than to etch your name next to that statue. Retica silently longs for the same attention, but she's the smallest and meekest among them. How would she ever win without like? Stick to what you're good at, Retica reminds her. A wave of her hand, Retica draws the crowd's attention. She begins to weep an impeccable, stunning tale. Her village is noiseless. They're all palpable. Right before concluding the tale, Retica points to the stone in her necklace and with a dramatic flourish says, unbeknownst to all, it was the stone from Yarbok's temple that had contained the secret to the god's disappearance. Wonderment ripples through the crowd and they erupt with glee. Holden can't contain his excitement. Retica, is the story true? It's a story, Holden. What do you think? Oh, please make it true. Could you really bring us back a stone from Yarbok's temple? Retica grins as every pair of eyes turn to regard her. I thought you'd never ask, brother. Out of breath, Retica finally reaches Yarbok's temple, just in time to witness the death of the last remaining temple guards. From the roof of the temple, they scream as they attempt to dodge the supernatural storm that has been ravaging the heavens. The lightning is too vast, and with a grotesque contortion, they fall to their deaths. Earthquakes tear roots from trees and cut chasms through the earth. One crevice extending so far that its fissure stops just short of Retica. Retica lunges into action. There has to be a survivor, she thinks. Fear drums in her mind as she follows the chasm, her direction driving her closer to the eye of the storm. Something catches her eye. Is that a body? Retica pauses, a dozen variables flipping through her mind. Notice the way down, a somewhat safe way to reach the victim. But how long before the next tremor collapses the fissure on her? Retica takes a chance, descending the steep slope at a run. She drops beside the body. She notices a familiarity in that unconscious face. It's Vera, injured or worse. Moving on impulse, Retica checks her vitals. She is unconscious but alive. In an eye blink, Retica evacuates, scaling up the incline Vera in tow. When she reaches her family, another aftershock violently shakes the ground. Retica, her father shouts. Are you crazy going into that storm? We've got to help her, Retica declares, Vera still in her arms. She's the only one left alive. Damn it, daughter. Father examines the unconscious owl. Look at this one, Pygarian. What am I to do with her? She doesn't belong in a Rhodesian family. I know that, Dad. Her father crosses his arms. Well, Pygaria. Riley Retica adds, I know that too, Dad. Young Indrik can feel Lokrin's sinister gaze. The 6-year-old's nerves scream. The patrician's shadowed figure has yet to move. Please look away, please look away. I'm here to collect you, young royal, had been Lokrin's only greeting. The patrician had interrupted Indrik's farewell meal. It is sacred. This is unfair. Indrik's even-tempered parents acquiesced. Okay, comes that. And urged Indrik to finish eating. A pause, a scrape. Indrik glances up. The patrician swipes a long fingernail across the bone-white coin. Indrik hides a shudder. The boy half assumed this night would never come. He was wrong. Indrik attempts to take a bite of food. He can't follow through, not even methodically. You have a duty to perform, young royal, Lokrin declares. If you're finished neglecting it, we go. Indrik's parents whisper good luck to their son. Not even a hug? Why? Indrik, glassy-eyed, tries uttering farewell, but the words die in his throat. Lokrin snatches Indrik and tows him out the door. With a tight-lipped snarl on his face, the patrician leads Indrik through the streets of Pygaria. Predestined to become emperor, Indrik remembers his duty. He must fulfill his lineage to Iron Track, first emperor who 300 years ago united their convocations. Successorship includes the role for patricians and commanders, and has wielded a worthy standing emperor. I know, I will be the last emperor Pygaria ever had. The best emperor Pygaria ever had. Well, last also. Better than Iron Track, but something else swells within Indrik, something confusing between instinct and responsibility. What will I study first? Leadership training, asks Indrik. Lokrin does not answer. Quiet lingers on, prompting Indrik to ask again. The patrician cuts him off. I heard you the first time, he pauses. You narrate? Good. First, you must sit your servitude. As young Vera surveys the trees, a strange sound reaches her ear. This as whispers are riding the wind. Vera's mother, Herava, nudges her daughter. Vera, It's our responsibility as temple guards to watch over the sacred grounds. Why are you watching the trees? I hear something, Mother. What you hear is rustling. Look. Vera follows her mother's gesture. For Vera can utter a word. Her mother's off, skirting the soil and returning to Vera with the captured prisoner. Harava addresses her victim. Radika! Radika does not quiver in fear, but instead yells obstinately. What are you doing, snatching me up like that? You're trespassing, Harava returns. These lands are reserved for the Temple of Yarbok. You know this, Radika. Where the little Rodention attempts to make some excuse, Harava turns to Vera. Return her to where she belongs. Vera nods and departs, a tight grip on the trespassing Rodention. I'm not a criminal, you can let me go, Radika states. Kind of inaccurate, don't you think, Vera counters. The Rodention stays silent, so Vera continues. You have nothing else to say? Trying to think of a properly dramatic way to inform you that you're wrong. Partially impossible. Hang on, we're almost there. As if I have a choice to hang on or not, Radika mutters. Vera releases the Rodention. As Radika runs off, she turns and yells. Next time a little warning would be appreciated, even if only a whisper. Oh well. Cryptic. Und 2 haben wir komplett noch nicht. Das eine dürfte Ludomir sein, aber wer ist der andere? Worden? Jabok? Können wir sehen. Bis dahin. Out. Hey, du bist ja immer noch hier. Cool. Da links gibt's die Playlist, zu der das hier gehört, oder ein anderes tolles Video. Da rechts kannst du abonnieren. Und wenn du mir noch einen auf die Glocke gibst, ist 1A. Da unten, Daumen rauf, Daumen runter, Kommentar hinterlassen. Freue ich mich auch immer drüber. Und ansonsten, bis zum nächsten Mal.